Are you wondering if you should track your food and if this is going to help you lose weight? Today, I'm going to be going over the pros and cons and sharing my thoughts with you and what I have experienced from working with other clients. And if you need some extra support along your health journey, I would love to help you. I offer online personal training through my app so that you can do workouts on your own time and have workouts designed just for you, while you can also work on healthy habits. I also have my Healthy Inside and Out course, which dives deep into helping you to lose weight, lower inflammation, and feel great. It goes through all the basics and beyond the basics of nutrition, so you can start to create a sustainable and healthy plan that you can keep for the rest of your life. No short-term fixes here. You also have the option to upgrade to get some one-on-one health coaching calls with me throughout the course. So there's going to be links down below where you guys can check that out so you can get extra support if you feel stuck in your health journey and want to start gaining some consistency. Hi friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michele, mama 4 and military wife, and I'm passionate about helping women get healthy from the inside out so they can feel better and live their best life. Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight and get in shape? If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably, then you're in the right place. I combine my expertise from my doctorate in physical therapy to my experience as a health coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher to bring you actionable steps for a healthy lifestyle. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. All right, so first, let's go over some of the pros of tracking your food. So one thing that can be really good about tracking is that it starts to bring awareness to what you are eating. So many times we go on autopilot, and a lot of times we eat the same things, and we also don't see those small differences we've made. For example, maybe 10 years ago for breakfast, you had a certain size of something, and now fast forward 10 years later, it's like bumped up a little bit and you just haven't noticed. Or maybe you're just not really aware of what you're actually eating and what is actually in that food. So much of our food is processed. God created all this natural, wonderful food for us. And these days we really have a lot of processed food. So we're not even aware of what is in it. And so many things have been changed that we really have veered pretty far from eating that whole food, more healthy food diet that our bodies are intended to eat. Another pro with tracking is that it can really help you to become more aware of the mindless eating and snacking. So when you realize that you have to write down what you ate, you might realize that, oh, wow, I'm like snacking more than I thought I was, or I'm mindlessly grabbing things when I'm really not hungry. So it helps you to bring pause to realize what you're doing and what food you're actually consuming. The other great thing is that it gives you information. So many people, when they go to track, are focused on the calories. And when that's the only thing you're really looking at, I don't think tracking is a great thing. We want to know a range of what calories we are eating. We don't really have to know this, but if we're tracking, we want to keep in mind that it is a range of calories that we're going to eat in, because we're not going to eat the same amount of calories every day. That is not normal. So there are days that I eat more. There are days that I eat less. And I don't track my food, but I just know this. And this is where we turn more into that mindful eating and tuning into our body and what we need. And also, I think the other little pitfall when you're just using tracking to look at calories is not all calories are the same. So if someone is eating 1,500 calories and it's mainly processed food, maybe they're having a processed protein shake or a processed bar for breakfast, and then they're having like a sandwich that has processed meats, processed bread, and go on like that. And they're eating 1,500 calories versus someone who is eating 1,500 calories of whole food, having some chicken with vegetables, maybe some whole grains, maybe some berries in there, maybe some yogurt. When they're eating more whole foods, those calories are going to, that have the protein and the fiber in them, are going to take more for your body to break down. So even though they're saying we're consuming 1,500 calories on both, that more whole food, healthy food, our body's not absorbing all of those calories. it's not just a calorie equals a calorie. It gives us a range, but also know that it really depends on the type of food you're eating. If your body has to break that down, if your body's getting to extract these different nutrients from them, it makes a big difference. So when you're tracking, you can really look at the information it gives you. So you can look at calories if you want, look at it as a range when you are doing that, but also look at protein. So many women are under eating protein, and this is really the building block to muscle. And inside my Healthy and Inside Out course, I go over how to calculate this and look at some different ranges and targets that you can get to. And it's dependent upon your body size. So when you're calculating protein intake, that's why I'm not going to give you a number over the podcast, because it depends how much you weigh, how much protein you need for your body. The other great thing is you can look at fiber, and with fiber, they recommend 25 grams a day for women. And I will say this is the fiber from food. You can use a supplement, but consider that a bonus, because really we want to be getting most of this fiber from food because our nutritional science is really new. So even though we know we need fiber to help our gut stay healthy, to help keep things moving in our body, there's also lots of other nutrients we're getting when we're eating those real fibrous foods and not just taking a supplement. So you're able to see your protein, you're able to see your fiber. When you track, you can also potentially see your added sugar depending what you're using. So this information can be really important, and this is more valuable than just calories. Am I getting enough protein? Am I getting enough fiber? How much added sugar am I getting? So if you haven't been aware of what you're eating, this can really give you some good information. And then you can use this to, how can I increase my protein, increase my fiber, or maybe I need to decrease my sugar. And you can use it as a tool. So you are becoming more educated about what you're putting into your body, because there's so much processed food, so much fast food out there, that we really do have to take the time to become more educated what we're putting into our body. And before we go to the cons, I just want to share some of my favorite supplements that I'm using for myself and really prioritizing this summer. So one is starting my day with my daily green juice by Organifi. I get my clinical dose of ashwagandha. This is an adaptogen herb that really helps with that stress response. Herbs are so powerful. And as humans, we used to eat more of them. We don't have as much anymore. So this is a great way, especially if you're dealing with a lot of stress or low energy levels. It also has the microgreens in it that help with detoxification and help really to support your body and cellular health. And I also like their Gold. It's a turmeric lemon balm evening drink. And this is a great way to calm your nervous system. And the turmeric is great for anti-inflammatory. And with both of these products, Organifi doesn't just put like a little bit, they put a good amount of those. So you're really getting a good bang for your buck. You guys can use the code HEALTHY20. The link will be down below. And also, you guys have probably heard me talk about the omega-3 oil that I like. It's by Zenzino. They also have the Extend Plus, the multivitamin and immune support. These are really important. I take this while I'm traveling because I don't want to get sick. I really want to make sure that I'm keeping up my omega-3 level in my body. So I'm decreasing inflammation throughout my body and really helping my body at a cellular level. I really encourage you guys to take your health into your own hands and to be proactive. These are some really simple supplements that you can use. So there's going to be a link down below where you guys can check those out. All right, so now let's go over some of the cons of food tracking. And one of the biggest ones I see is using tracking as a way to restrict yourself based on a calorie goal that a lot of the different tracking things, the different tracking apps say. So let's say you have a goal for 1,200 calories and you know that you're going to go over, so you're not going to eat something. So you're doing this calorie restriction based on what you're tracking. And what happens is then you feel like crap when you don't eat enough, but you need a little bit more that day, or you feel like crap when you do eat and you go over your calorie goal. And this really makes it unsustainable. So it feels like, and it can help short term, but in the long term, this doesn't work because this doesn't create a good relationship with food. This creates this restriction-based eating. And just before I started recording this podcast, my husband called me and asked me what I was doing. So I shared this episode I was doing and what I was thinking about. And it's so interesting as I'm talking to him is there are males that track, but for the most part, I think this is more of a women thing where we get into tracking our food, becoming obsessed with the calories and this restriction and this control. I could be wrong here too, but I think a lot of people who go to Weight Watchers are women too. And that's, again, basically some type of calorie counting. So it's so interesting how women lean towards this more than men. And women are also more likely to just suffer with poor body image and poor self-confidence. And I think that when we are trying to restrict our calories and we're using this tool, that we can sometimes go down that negative loop and we no longer have freedom in our food. When we get into this rut of tracking our calories, it's easy to get obsessed. It's easy to try to control something. And these are not good things. And we no longer have that freedom to listen to our body, to choose the foods that we need. So especially when we're just looking at calories and we're not really looking at this whole picture of what we're eating, mentally, it takes a lot of women in a place that is not great. And really, it doesn't create sustainable results. I also find that it's interesting when some people do record is they'll stop recording on the weekends, for example, when they're eating more because they know that they overdid it. So if you can't consistently track and consistently bring awareness to what you're eating because it makes you feel like crap and you already know that information that you overate, then it's not really a helpful tool. It's just coming in at some piece of control that you feel like keeps you in line during the week or whenever it is. And that is not freedom. That is not nourishing our bodies. So you've probably already gathered a little bit of what I think, but I really try to stay open-minded. I don't tell clients what to do when it comes to this. If they're already tracking, I might give them a little bit of information and feel out, is this putting them in a bad relationship with food and with their health long term? But everybody is at different places. But I think when someone is completely unaware of what they're eating, they don't know the amount of protein or fiber, I think using tracking as a short-term tool to gather information can be helpful. I don't think it's helpful when it's used as a place of restriction. So short term, to gather information and to make some of those adjustments if you need. So for example, if you're trying to increase that protein or fiber, maybe you're going to keep using it a little bit more. You can also simply just like track on paper too. You can start to learn, if you just want to look at protein, you can start to learn how much protein is in and track it on paper, or, a simple notes app or something without fully tracking all your food and knowing the calories and different information like that. So for example, I have a client recently that she was doing some tracking and she was shocked, I think we both were, how much added sugar was in her favorite coffee. She was just completely unaware of it because she didn't look at the label. She didn't add all the things together. So it can be super powerful in helping you to make decisions and become aware of what's in the food or the drinks or whatever it is that you're actually eating. And I also have for another client, we really dialed in on her protein and fiber intake. So both were low. So this was a really powerful tool for her to start to learn how much protein is in a piece of chicken or eggs. And you start to learn these numbers without even using the app, or you start to learn those foods that you like that have fiber in it. And you start to learn, how often do I need to eat these things to be able to reach these goals, to have enough protein, to have enough fiber in my diet. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that if you are tracking food, that maybe this helps you think about a few things. And is this really good for me mentally and physically? Thinking of that whole person. We always want to look at our health holistically. Or maybe if you're thinking about tracking, maybe this gave you some idea. Should you do it? Should you not do it? I would also love it if you guys head to my Facebook group, Healthy Beyond 40, and share your experience if you have tracked. Feel free to share the positive. Share things that didn't go so well, or maybe it was a short-term thing, but it didn't stick. Share in there so we can all hear and that we can all learn from each other and really support each other. So there will be links for everything down below. I hope that you guys are having a great day and you keep on moving.